What's up everyone, this is JWall Gaming. I typically don't make videos like this, but I feel like this might be something different and new for the channel, and who knows, maybe this might be informational to all of y'all who do view my videos and like them. And if you do watch this video, don't forget to like, because this does help support me and my channel in making more content for the future. But anyways, the point of this video is I'm going to go over the new killer, the Cenobite, or A.K.A. Pinhead, from the Hellraiser series. So I gotta say, didn't really know too much, but once I started watching Hellraiser, I really liked this killer. So, without further ado, let's jump right into the Cenobite. So, the Cenobite. He comes with 3 unique and teachable perks. His first one is Deadlock. You induce mental suffering by crushing any hope of escape. After a generator is repaired, the entity blocks the generator with the most progress for 30 seconds. You see the aura in white during this time. Now, to me, that is very powerful, because that is somewhat of a corrupt intervention. But each time a gen blocks, it prevents another gen that's maybe 99 from being done, what have you. It's intel, and it's also its slowdown. And it works very well, and I can see this being comboed with Pop, and I don't know, I see this being very meta with certain killers. So, in my opinion, this is a really good perk. Probably his strongest perk. His next perk is Hex Plaything, a hex that toys with a victim's suffering. The first time you hook a survivor, they become cursed with Hex Plaything. Activates on a dull totem. The cursed survivor suffers from the oblivious status effect until Hex Playthings is cleansed. So basically, the moment you put the survivor on their first hook, they're oblivious. That means they don't get your red stain, they don't hear your terror radius, or see your red stain. You are completely silent, besides your footsteps. But, of course, and you have to have really good ears and be a really good survivor to pay attention to that stuff, but basically, you have no warning that Pinhead's near you, even though he's within the terror radius range. You don't get the heartbeat or the music, which can be really good. And also, the interesting thing is, it says that on a dull totem, so it's not a so each survivor gets their own hex tome they had to cleanse. So, right there, that sounds pretty good to a certain degree. Now let's get to the second part of this perk. Hex Plaything totem aura is revealed to the cursed survivor for within 16 meters, which is kind of I guess it's somewhat of a trade-off, but not I don't really like that too much. For the first 90 seconds, only the cursed survivor can cleanse that totem. Now that's pretty good, because it prevents, comms and survivor friends from saying, oh no, I got Hex Thing, and then someone sees the totem, oh here, I'll cleanse it for you. They can't do that right away. You got 90 seconds, which is a pretty long time. And because seconds really do matter in this game. Granted, it takes 16 meters, which, again, I guess I'd rather have 16 meters instead of 30 meters. But, I mean, I can see this perk being very well used, and especially if you hit, so for example, you hit all 4 survivors with, let's say, the Hex perk, Third Seal, and then you run this. It blocks their aura reading ability of this totem. Therefore, this combo with Third Seal would be very, very deadly and nasty. So, I don't know, that may be a build you might try on a certain killer, who knows? But I can see this being very well played with Hex Third Seal. I think this and Plaything and Third Seal would make a broken ass combo, or a really good combo. If played right. And then we have his third and last perk, Scourge Hook, Gift of Pain. You are the bringer of sweet pain. At the start of the trial, up to 4 random hooks are turned into Scourge Hooks. You see their auras in white, so only you know that they're Scourge Hooks. When a survivor is unhooked from them, they suffer from the mangled and hemorrhage status effect, which is pretty good. So it's basically giving you Sloppy Butcher without hitting him, although I feel like, in a way, if you just wanted to apply, you can just hit him with Sloppy Butcher. Let's continue reading. until they are fully healed, they suffer from the mangled hemorrhage. They suffer grant at tier 3 a 9% penalty to healing and repairing actions until they are injured again. So that is really good. That is basically a Thanamophobia or a reverse. What's the survivor perk? Resilience. Resilience, sorry. And it lasts on them until they are hit again, which is basically when you're chasing them again. But they are much slower, which is a good slowdown. One, they're mangled, slow healing, and then you have the benefit of a minus 9% at tier 3 on repairing generators. That takes a long time, and you don't know what other regression or other perks you might run to make this even better or stronger. Granted, if you hit a survivor and then you lose them, then it's like, haha. But it's a pretty good perk. The only downside I do see of this perk is that if it's a huge map and you down survivors and they're not anywhere near close to a Scourge hook for you to get it off, it might... I mean, that's the only real downside to it, but besides that, it is a good perk. And it is a good kind of like passive slowdown just by hooking someone. By healing and action speeds that are very important. Action speeds, mind you. So I can see this potentially being very good. Definitely very strong in small maps, but for big maps like RPD, I don't see this perk doing too good, but I'll say it's still a good perk. But I think out of all of his perks, not Dead. Now I'm thinking Survivor. Deadlock, I apologize guys, is his strongest perk. And then the Summons of Pain, his power. So when you pass the power, the activation, you can open a gateway, which allows you to spawn a possessed chain, which you control, to hook a survivor. And when you hook the survivor, they are attacked with 3 other chains to slow them down. Now, mind you, when either it is your possessed chain or your passive chains, survivors can still throw down pallets and still vault windows and pallets, but they are slow vaults and slow actions. They cannot do any fast actions. And another little tip about his power and his chains is you can't use your exhaustion perks. So you can't dead hard or anything until you break the chains, which is really good slowdown. Although they can break it with environments, but there are certain add-ons that can deal with that. So besides, that's pretty good so far. And then you got the limit configuration. So when it spawns, the timer of the chain hunt, which takes a minute for it to activate and start, survivors have to find a limit configuration to stop the chain hunt. Now, if someone finds the chain hunt, and picks it up, it'll stop everyone else's chain hunt. But they will still be attacked by the chain hunt until they solve it. And when the survivors are trying to solve this limit configuration, it gives Pinhead the ability, or the Cenobite, to teleport, kind of like Freddy. And then, no matter when they solve it, when you teleport, the survivor is going to be always in front of you. They might be behind an object, but you will always spawn with you facing the survivor when you teleport. Which is another thing I have noticed while playing gameplay of Pinhead. Also, another thing, if you try holding the limit configuration as a survivor, you cannot repair a gen. And if you have the passive chains on you, the chain hunt, you cannot repair gens, nor can you get out the exit gate until you break the chains. So basically, he has a good 4v1, which I know probably other content creators have said, and I know they have said, but his power is pretty good. And through my playtesting, he's really fun. I will say he's a lot hard. I'm not a nurse main or anything, so I have a hard time placing the gateway, but And also, it is a little hard on the turning that chain, but besides that, you know, that's something that people who are really dedicated and are like hard killers, this is a good killer, and it is really fun. When you do get those chains off, your possessed chain off, it does help out a lot. There's some situations where it doesn't, but most of the time, his chains, either it's your possessed chain or your passive chain, is very strong. And I see a lot of potential for this killer. There might be some buffs, some, you know, changes to him later in the future, but right now he is a pretty, I will say, a strong killer. I won't say he's S tier, but I will say he is up there, in my opinion. But this is all I have for this video. Like I said, it's not a normal video, typical video I normally do on my channel, but you know, I'm gonna start doing these more often, especially if you all like them. Whenever there's a new killer or a new chapter, you know, just kind of do like an overview of them and what their perks and what they do. So, if you all like this video and want more videos like this for any future content, please let me know on the comments and leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel, because that'll really help me a lot. And also, I stream on Twitch every night, so if you want to see me play some DBD live, come check me out on Twitch on JWall Gaming. So, till the next time, this is JWall Gaming, and I'll see you in the fog.